Hello everyone, I'm Ricardo Levon, author of Amias, a Whittles Oil novella. If you see the title of this video, then it's time for another author's advice. And in this part, I'll briefly talk about writing friendships. Now this is from the standpoint of this particular book. So when writing about conflicting friendships, frenemies, or something else, I'll have different other author advices for them. A significant theme in Amias is friendship. The opening chapter is about Amias visiting his friend Afra in Jericho. The entire reason why he was there was because of his friend. But before we see Amias and Afra interact, we learn a little about Amias. And that's the first thing to realize when writing friendships. Establish your characters first. This book is told from the viewpoint of Amias. He's in every chapter and his emotions and thoughts are described, but his mindset tells us what we think or feel about others. This means we get to know Amias first. We learn about him, who he is, and how he views others and his interactions with other people. Then we see him with his friends. So if you're writing a story with multiple points of views, make sure to establish each of those people before getting to their friendship. This way we see them as people or characters first, then we can understand their friendship dynamic. Now the second thing you need to think about is what makes these people's friends. Are they family, like siblings or cousins who happen to be best friends? Is their friendship based on a shared experience? Do they have similar interests? Are they working in the same field of work? Any of these are just the starting points for why they are friends. It's good for the reader to see this or at least mention it. Also, don't forget that some common bond or event can also bring them together. So you just really want to go into detail like, why are these people friends? People are friends for different reasons. And the third point, don't forget that they're friends and how this plays a role in society. Sometimes we love writing conflict and what breaks people up. It's fun and exciting. But then we, as authors, screenwriters, or storytellers, spend very little on the actual friendship. The interactions of the people coming together make classic or good friendship stories. For example, movies like Goonies, or even The Hobbits in the Lord of the Rings series, and even the children and the kids in the movie It. All these stories have people who are friendly, or at least friendship or kind to each other, and we see why they are friends, even when opposition or in conflict are in their way. It's okay to write people liking each other. I know we like to write stories about people not liking each other for some reason, and in stories with friends, make sure to put that in there. Also, consider how their friendship is in relation to society. I don't know if you think like, what are you talking about? Okay, so for example, are your characters friendly with one another even though they might represent warring sides? You know, that can happen. Or are they people of the opposite gender and maybe at that particular time that you're writing that particular story in history, people didn't have close associations in that way with the opposite gender. That actually was very true and did happen. Is someone a friend even though one of the people's royalty and the other one might be a servant? Or are they friends and it means nothing to society at all? There are various ways to write this, so I would suggest just have fun, but also consider about what is going on with their friendship as well as what is happening around them. Now, lastly, like I said, this is very short, but just want to say, it's fun to put them in stress or conflict. We all know that. That's why we like writing stories of that nature. The problem can lead to their friendship breaking away and then returning, or they grow stronger and push together through something together. You know, sometimes that can happen. So problems can either break them away or can actually push them together. And it's cool to do either way. It really is. But there are so many times when a story is written where the friends are cool with each other in the beginning and everything is great. Then something terrible happens. And people decide to go their separate ways. They're mad or angry at each other, whatever. So, then both the multiple people struggle away from each other in different situations. Then a different event just so happens to bring them together, but they don't like it. They still can't stand each other. Then they have to help each other because another situation happens, and now they're friends again. This happens so often that you could practically write the dialogue before even seeing the scenes, or once it gets started, you kind of know how this is going to go and your brain starts to check out. I encourage you to be different. Ensure there's a valid reason for separating the characters if this has to be in the story. Instead, maybe write a creative way for them to stick together even though there's a struggle there. In Amias, there are reasons for arguments or characters that have different points of view. That's natural. But it never meant, and you never feel like their friendship would just be over. Please don't tell the exact same story that you see and we read over and over and over again. Instead, I implore you to be different. So these are just a few ideas on writing friendship. Like I said, later on I'll probably do some more stuff on friendships as other novellas and stories come about. But just make sure you want to establish your character. Then we want to see what makes them friends. Some environment, something that happened. How does their friendship play a role in society or compared to what's going on in society? And then of course you want to introduce conflict. But that conflict doesn't have to break up a friendship. It could actually bring them together. It's fun and exciting. You should really consider your own friendships when writing about your characters and stories. Why do you in your life keep up with some friends on social media and other means compared to others you probably haven't even thought about until literally this moment in the video? So thank you in advance for your support on Amias. This book is available on Amazon and bookstores online. The link is alavari.com/Amias, AMIAS, which will be in the description. To all you storytellers out there, I wish you the best of luck and much success in your writing endeavors. Please bring light, hope, and fun to everyone reading your story.